What do you do when you lose a $500,000 per month business? So today I'm going to quickly cover some of the lessons learnt from an incident that happened over the last 2 years of, again, losing two businesses actually that were combined doing $500,000 per month, a little bit under that. So if you don't know who I am, my name's James Lewis, CEO of Whitewater Investments and BizLeads. And approximately now it's been, I don't want to say exactly, but it's been around a year and a half where an unfortunate incident happened that I can't really go into on a public forum, but basically walking away with no money, no nothing from a business and two businesses that were doing a combined of about $450,000, $500,000 per month. So let's jump straight into it. So number one, so you got to plan an exit always. Now what that means is when you're planning an exit, it's just like always plan to have an exit strategy, whether that be contracts in place, anything like that you can do to safeguard yourself in any possible situation that's happening. Okay, like any possible situation. It doesn't matter what you think can't happen. I promise you, in business it can. I've now had about over 15 businesses now that I've either started or bought into and then either exited, and majority of them have been exits. And then, as I said, two of them have been unfortunate incidents, we'll call it. So always plan whatever that may happen, whether a business partner gets you or there is, for example, some kind of, I don't know, let's say you get sued by an employee or anything like that. Like anything that happens, make sure you're always planned for it. So contracts around people, making sure you've actually got proper employment contracts, making sure you've actually got proper business agreements in place. So it's very, very fair in terms of expectations. But then the biggest thing about planning the exit is you don't want to be left with nothing. So that's going to bring me on to my next point, okay? Now, in Australia, we don't talk about money that you've been taking home. No one loves to talk about how much money they make. But one of my favorite people, Alex Hormozy, who has had a huge impact on the world of business. He started off one of his most famous videos, I think nearly his most viewed video, and says, I took home more than the CEO of Toyota, McDonald's and whatever, all in a single year within, and a guy in his 20s, being in a guy in his 20s. And he took home, I think it's like 18 million or 15 million in distributions. So in 1 year consistently. So that is going to be the next biggest point. Take distributions when you can, okay? Now, I've been receiving maybe a bit less over the last 12 months, but before that, I've been pulling out six figures or multi-six figures for a few years out of the companies that I've been a part of. And the biggest thing that is, like, if you don't do that and you don't invest or you don't keep it in your bank account and something happens, you're literally left with nothing. Okay, so it's a big thing. Last year when I had some issues as well around this, I just gone and bought investment properties. I'd bought two. They were around, one was, I think, 795,000 in, I think, February. And this was last year, so we're in July. So about a year and a half ago, and that's just before everything happened. I started to need more money for basically like going through a tougher time, I would say. And basically, when you're pulling out distributions, you need to either make sure it's invested or you have it available. I personally now take the approach that I want to have it available. So I want to make sure 20% of my entire net worth is available to me in cash. Okay, so it's unbelievably important to actually have this and make sure that you've got a complete backup. Okay, it's like if you're making $50,000 per month, this reinvest into the business stuff, 100% I agree. But a lot of the companies, especially financial services companies, they don't require, you're not like a Shopify, like retail product store that needs to hold stock and all this stuff. Like if you're reinvesting into the company and you're left with nothing, it's because you're not making enough money. Like that's I hate to say, that's it. Here's the step to start off in financial services. Yourself, you make $30,000 to $40,000. Find out how to make $30,000 to $40,000 yourself. You hire an SDR to make $60,000 to $80,000 a month. Trust me, you can literally get there doing that. I'm not joking. We see it all the time. $60,000 to $80,000 per month. And then literally, you're now at a point where you should be making anywhere from $20,000 to $50,000 a month in profit. So if you hire another broker or another someone, like you're not reinvesting. Like if you're not making the benchmarks of profit, you're not making enough money. It's as simple as that. I know that might hurt to hear, but like, trust me, optimize for profit, not revenue, because I find, especially in the finance industry, and when I had finance brokerages back in 2022, 100% saying, oh, I did $15 million in NAF and like all these things, like, yeah, cool. Like NAF stands for net amount finance, by the way. Like when you have all those things that you actually, like you see these big numbers, especially mortgage is crazy. Like I hear a lot of people who they'll take home less than $100,000, $200,000 per year and claim they're the number one mortgage broker on the planet doing 5 million a month. And it sounds crazy when like, you hear the number 5 million, but optimize for profit, okay? Optimize for profit. Like revenue doesn't even matter, okay? So I'll tell you they're the biggest things to focus on. Plan an exit and make sure you're always taking out distributions, okay? It is like the most important thing. So whoever you are, cool. Like if you're in Australia or wherever you are, take the money out, take the tax, I hate to say, because if you're not building your own personal net worth, there's literally no point of doing it. Because if you lose something one day, you'll be left with nothing. So if there's nothing else you take from this video, it's that. So, because basically I lost a lot of money last year. Last year, I'd say it's close to, it was around just over $1.1 million last year. And that was in combination of me, like businesses, whatever, it doesn't matter how. I've got another video about the losing over $1 million in 2024 on my channel. But it's basically like when you lose that much money, I had cash on hand and the availability to sell either an asset. I had to sell a house to get through that. I had to sell a house that was like, I sold it, I believe for, I bought it for like $655 the year before or something like that. And I sold it for 700 and something. And I had put down 25% or whatever the amount was. So I was left with 400,000 or something like that, 400,000. And basically when I actually like did that, that allowed me to get through, and then I had other cash and whatever to basically get through that period of time. And if I didn't have that, first of all, I would have, like, if you don't have the money that you've been pulling out, like again, I'm not saying you have the ability to pull out like huge amounts, but I didn't pull out money for, I'd say, the first 1 to 2 years from when I really started like biz leads and things like that. But after that, I was pulling out, again, 6 figures or multi 6 figures, like every single month, not every, but like 8 to 10 months of the year out, and then investing in property, stocks, keeping cash and things like that. So it's so unbelievably important to actually do that and make sure that you have cash on hand so that when bad things either happen, you can revive, or you can also make a smart decision and go, this is the decision that I definitely wish I should have made. I would have been able to project how much money I would have lost. I should have wrapped things up and shut a specific company down for sure. Like $1.1 million, the amount of effort that takes to make versus lose is not worth it. Like losing that much money is not worth how long it usually takes to make that. Like it's just not, because but first of all, that's after tax money. Like it's a huge amount. So yeah, make sure that like you make the calculation of what it is actually going to be. It's just like, okay, perfect. I got $1 million in assets or whatever. And then, okay, this is going to probably cost me $500,000. So I'm going to lose half my net worth on this one thing that I can see running negative or whatever's going to happen. So don't make those bets. Anyway, that's just some ranting of losing a business that was doing that. Very unfortunate, but that's just how it goes. So please plan the exit. Make sure you're actually got money in the bank that you're pulling out every single month. Try and minimize tax wherever possible, but see a tax professional for that, by the way. But if you want to see more content like this, business, sales, growth content for your companies, like, comment, subscribe for more. Reach out if you ever need anything. I hope to speak with you guys very soon. See ya.